Hello, my name is Charles Brim, and to make Freud proud, I would like to open up with a story from my childhood. When I was about 8 years old, I was in an argument with a friend of mine, and I was really just struggling to see his point of view. I thought I was right, I thought he was wrong. My father came to my room, and he taught me a little bit about the word perspective. I'd like to share that story with you now. It was wintertime on the farm, and there were about 3 moles that lived in a hole: a father, a mother, and a baby mole. The father mole noticed that everyone was getting a little bit restless and really wanted spring to be there, so he said, I'm going to go check it out. So the father stuck his head out and he said, I can smell spring in the air. The mother, excited by what the father had said, she also stuck her head out and she said, I can smell the flowers. The baby mole, oh boy, the baby mole was the most excited of them all. But he was tiny, and scampered and tried as he might, he couldn't quite get up the hill to poke his head out. And he said, that's weird. All I smell is molasses. Perspective. I learned a lot about it that day, and perspective is what we're going to use in answering the question, telecommunications, where do we go from here? I'll be using 3 areas of analysis. First, where we've been. Second, where we are. And finally answer the question, where are we going? First, where we've been. Telecommunications has had a long road. Going against the incumbent of landline wired copper communications, we have come such a far way. First, we had our bag phones. I remember my father's bag phone sitting right in between the seats with a cable that ran all the way to the back to its own battery, because that's what it took, and a magnetized antenna sitting on top of the car. I remember hearing pagers go off in the middle of the night. It was such a crazy experience whenever I worked for AT&T and the first iPhone came out in 2007. There were armed guards, wooden crates, cameras freshly installed just for the event. It was truly a sight to behold. It was very exciting. And excitement plays a part with technology and folks buying into it, which brings us to our second area of analysis. Where are we now? Right now, we average about 3 connected devices per adult in the United States. So you can imagine the excitement has kind of worn off from the many moons ago when the iPhone first launched. People are constantly looking for something new. They're looking for additional features and benefits for their life. And right now, with all of the connected devices as we have them, that excitement has certainly worn off quite some time ago. What we're looking for now is an answer to the revenue issue when it comes to telecommunications. There's been a lot of downward pressure. It's called race to the bottom in the relation to pricing. We see that pressure coming from third-rate carriers like Sprint, US Cellular, and other smaller regional carriers, as everyone tries to fight for that piece of the pie, which is certainly finite, particularly given the equipment that we're using. So the third area is the future. Given the issues that we've previously talked about, where do we go from here? The answer is innovation. The future is in new value, and that new value is going to come from the Internet of Things. But exactly what is the Internet of Things? The Internet of Things is a wide, encompassing term which includes how things communicate. And the way those things communicate can be of a great value to us. For example, smart cities, where stop signs, stoplights, pressure sensors all communicate to make a better flow of traffic, which can prevent accidents. A lot of accidents are caused by drivers that are lulled by a slow commute, bumper-to-bumper traffic. Perhaps they get a little bit more aggressive whenever it comes to trying to get through that light. So that is one example of Internet of Things. We are also looking at smart cars, vehicles that are capable of driving themselves. We've all seen Tesla. We've seen Google with their self-driving cars. These new and exciting technologies are going to be the future of telecommunications. As we find new, exciting purposes and applications for this technology, we'll see the revenues increase. But better and more than just increasing revenues, we're bringing additional value to our consumer. In summation, like the possums, perspective is exceptionally important. And just like, the moles, not possums, just like the moles, We have to keep our perspective. And like the moles should have looked up more to get a better smell of what was around them, we need to make sure that we're looking forward. Thank you so much for your time.